So, Joe.
Lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you as well, Ferlon Webster. And this is the Keeping It Simple with Ferlon podcast live interview at the One Voice Conference 2024.
Hey.
And Joe, tell me about yourself. You're a photographer.
I'm a photographer from the UK, just outside London.
Mm-hmm.
I've had my business now I've been a business owner for 8 years now.
Nice.
Yeah, used to be in the corporate world and wanted to get off the rat race.
See, the rat race, I was just watching a video. I mean, I see a lot of stuff about the rat race, but on Instagram, and they were just exposing just how the corporate world is, or just, I guess, 9-to-5 world is in general. It's kind of a pain in the butt. So how do you feel about, like, starting your own business?
Yeah.
What is the biggest difference you notice from the 9-to-5 life to this life?
Well, that I'm my own boss. Like, no one tells me what to do now, which is awesome. I think for me, it's like a work-life balance is challenging when you're running your own business because you're always on, but it's around my schedule. Like, I'm a mum of 2, so now, like, I've built my business so I could be there for my children.
Yeah.
And I could take them to the school gate, and, you know, I could be like PTA and all that, which was really important to me because I was, you know, generating lots of money for somebody else, and thought, no, let's create something that works for us as a family.
So you are here at One Voice taking headshots.
Yes.
So I have a question. What is the importance of a good headshot?
Oh, that's it. But for me, and I've heard it so often, like around the conference, and it was amazing. The keynote speaker also really addressed it. People deal with people, right? And they connect with people. So a headshot for me needs to give, you know, the person looking at it an insight to who that person is, and everyone is completely unique, which is why I approach the headshots. You won't see lights set up. I have no backdrop because I connect with people and I want to capture who they really are. And it was really interesting because I met with them on Zoom before the conference to find out about them. So I took a peek at their current headshots, and I was like, when I met them, I was like, yeah, but
it didn't do them justice.
It did not show who they really were.
Okay.
And that made me really excited about coming because I was like, the opportunity here is huge.
Yeah.
So I've been having some real good fun with people going around. And I see light. I mean, you know, I'm a photographer, so I see light everywhere, and light just, I'm fascinated by it. I get to geek out on light and spend time with awesome people.
I see people, they post headshots, you know, maybe on their cell phone or whatnot, or headshots that weren't taken by a great photographer. And is that detrimental to them? I guess that's a question I'll ask.
I mean, I think there's a real piece around authenticity. Okay. And I think that's actually the most important thing. Now, you know, some people opt to have, you know, really, like, you know, use selfies, but they understand light, you know, and they know, you know, and they want to connect with people at that level. Other people want to show that, like, you know, they're professional, they're potentially more corporate. It's really, as long as, like, your image is communicating something more than it just, you know, looking like you had a holiday snap and just cut somebody out of it, which I see so many of those, and I'm like, I mean, because they're not, you know, you wouldn't show up in real life like that. So why show up like half-assed?
No, you're good.
You know, the first time somebody sees you.
Yeah.
And you know, the other thing is like, makes me giggle slightly is when I see people's images from like 10 years ago, and then you meet them somewhere, like what are you going to do? I've met you today. I'm going to go and check you out online, right? And
absolutely.
I'm going to go there. And if you've got like a picture and I'm like, that's not you. It's not, you know, you're not authentic. And I understand it's challenging to get in front of the camera and, you know, all of that, but you find somebody that you trust, find someone that you connect with, that, you know, knows what they're doing. And, you know, photographers, so many different, there's so many of us out there. But just find one that you connect with and just, get it done.
No, absolutely. And you mentioned something, you said there's so many of you out there, so many photographers. I'm learning many voice actors. And I'm sure anybody in any business can see that there are many competitors. How do you separate yourself, and how does that work?
Oh my gosh. I set my business up 8 years ago. Gosh, feels like an eternity ago. People buy me, like it's me, it's how I make them feel, and my job I work with, I capture images of people, so be that family memories, voiceover artists. For me, it's about creating a space of joy and a space of confidence, a space where people can really be themselves. And the moment I create that, then you capture people, and I just have fun.
Yeah.
But people are working with me because it's me, which is I'm just fun, and we do have.
Okay.
I think that's what I'm told anyway.
Yeah. I get that vibe from you just sitting here, and even when I talked to you before recording, so I get that.
And I just so I network. I do a lot of networking. I talk to people. Like, I love connecting with people. So that's how I built my business. And I think if you do a good job for people, then they tell other people, and then you get to connect and share more joy.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And did you know that, like, when you were in the corporate world, did you have a knack for photography? Were you one of the people who would take pictures with a cell phone, and just be really good at it, or you always had a camera?
Yeah, I've done a lot of traveling when I was younger, and I always printed my pictures. Like, so for me, like, printing images is like so important.
Okay.
I know we live in a digital world, but the moment you print something, you bring it to life.
Yeah.
And I think printing imagery is like. So I have all albums, like, from when I was a kid, from when I traveled. So I've always been obsessed with the idea of capturing a memory and treasuring that. So I have like albums that my kids call them like they're your memory boxes, Mum, and I'm like, they are 100% my memory boxes. So that's I've kind of lost where were we going with the question?
Oh no, just hearing your perspective on wait.
I don't know. I just went off on memories.
It was just about. How you got involved in photography?
So thank you.
Yeah,
and then I finished. I worked really hard. I was in like marketing and business and things like that. And I got to the point, and I just went, well, what skills and tools do I have? And I love people. I love bringing the best out of people. I used to have a team of 30, so for me to watch them kind of succeed and run the business, that was always ever the most important part for me. So to be able to work with lots of different people and geek out on photography, because I'm a bit of a geek, but don't tell anyone that.
Being a geek is good.
Yeah, we love a bit of science. It just brings everything together. So it was a no-brainer, and it was the single best decision I have made in my life to date.
When were you working corporate and this at the same time, and then built a bit? Oh, okay.
So I kind of went cold turkey.
Okay.
And I built it from scratch, and I was kind of like, well, should I not go into consulting and just like build off this, my base that I already had? But I was just I needed something more. I was like, right, let's not. So
And you said so you just quit the corporate job, and then hey, I'm down with that.
Oh yeah. Well, we kind of we went like let's half the household income and see how that works. And that was tough.
Yeah.
But actually, I realized that money is not everything. You need it to live, but actually, like, I've learned to live with much less than I used to have.
I think that's the way.
But it's tough. It's tough because it's complete identity change. It's complete change for the family, but it meant I could be around for the kids. It's everybody. But there were, but the grind is real, and it's a hustle and it's real.
Yeah. Before we were recording, when we were first talking, you were speaking of grit, the grind, and like you're saying, the grind is real. What are some of the challenges you've been facing in building your photography business, and how did you overcome them?
It's where's the next piece of business coming from?
Oh yeah.
That's the real. It's like, it's working like on the business as much as in, and when you're like a solopreneur. Is that a solopreneur?
I like it. That's what I call myself. Solopreneur.
It's that balance of making sure that you are not always kind of doing, but you kind of take a step back and go, right, okay, so what needs doing here? How do I move the business forward?
Okay.
And why, if I'm creating social content, why? What is it doing? What's my strategy? And I love a bit of strategy. So like for me, that's where I sit quite comfortably.
Okay.
Because I've built those skills in the corporate world.
Yeah.
But it's the where's the next bit of business coming from?
Yeah,
but blessed it comes from. It's not, and I've learned now not to panic. It does come.
Okay.
But it took, I'd say 5 years. But the moment,
5 years before what, consistency?
It really, really started to kind of like, and now I like, what, really?
Yeah. You're a
keep
billionaire.
it coming out. I'd like to say, but yeah, no.
No, I hear you on that. And then I've noticed that as I've been building my business, some months are really, really great. Then all of a sudden it's like, am I in the desert right now? And so it's good to hear you say that, it does return,
Yeah.
And when those downtimes come,
Yep.
what would you say is something that you need to focus on? Like downtime, there's no work coming in.
Use it wisely.
Okay.
Because the work will come.
Okay.
So if you use it, like plan, like look at, what is, what are you doing on social? What are you doing marketing wise? Who are you next going to talk to?
Okay.
Don't panic. Don't you use that time. That time's a gift. Think of it as a gift.
Okay.
Rather than it as a holy crap, because like the holy crap moment is and what? Holy crap, that's not going to help.
Yeah, it's not. You're
but
right.
it's that having that confidence and that resilience to go, right, let's just be focused here, because when I'm busy, I'm not going to be able to write that social content.
That's true.
So write the social content when you've got that, gift. And I was, oh my God, like I listen to audiobooks all the time, and you kind of, how can you use that time effectively to make sure that you are bringing that business in? And it's in that confidence, but that comes with time and learning. Those downtimes, it's like, it's identifying opportunities. Go out and talk to people. Find conversations with people.
Okay.
Do that with your peers, but also just go and talk to businesses. Go and find yourself a networking event to attend.
Yeah.
But use that time wisely, because there's no point in panicking.
Okay. I like that. It's a really good perspective. It's been a pleasure talking with you,
really
Jo.
Thank you so much. I hope it was helpful.
Super helpful. And that is another episode of the Keeping It Simple with Ferlon podcast with Jo, and your last name, Robbins.
Robbins.
Jo Robbins. With an E. Robbins
with an E. Robbins with an E. Just J-O and with an E. But thanks ever so much.
Thank you so much as well. And have a great session.